Welcome back to Tassie Rules. Great to have your company with thanks to DLM Machinery on this Thursday night. Well, our next guest first came on the show just over 12 months ago. Scott Bellinger would be very well known to many viewers around Tasmania. He's been involved in football for a great period of time before moving interstate, but he has personally faced some enormous challenges and also adversity, cancer, mental health, addiction, alcoholism. Scott is the founder of Experience Strength and is in Tassie right now for some speaking engagements, which we'll tell you a little bit about later on in the program. But it's nice to have him here in person. Scotty, nice to see you, mate. Welcome.
Thanks, Rick. It actually is nice to be in person, and it's great to be back in Tassie, mate.
Welcome home.
Yeah, thank you.
Exciting. Beautiful day.
Absolutely beautiful day.
Weather's always lovely. We'll get on to the purpose of your visit, but just take us back a little bit because you have obviously faced a lot of personal adversity in your life through sickness, mental health challenges. Just for people who may not know about your situation, and let's maybe start from a base of what's happened in the past to you that's led to today.
Absolutely, Rick. Again, thanks for the opportunity to come back on your show. Look, 2018, 2019 was some pretty tough times for me. I had a health scare that came out of left field, wasn't expected. Things in life were going really well, but it hit me really hard from a cancer perspective. So I had to go through a lot, surgery, radiation treatment. I was still working at the time, and in reflection, Rick, I did everything for my physical health.
Mhm.
I did absolutely nothing for my mental health. I didn't speak to anybody about it. I kept it really close to myself. I didn't even share it with my family, how I was feeling. And then that led to some even darker times. I was finding myself using substances, consuming copious amounts of alcohol because I just didn't like the way that I was feeling. And then all of a sudden, Rick, that led to just not being able to actually stop. And awful things happened. And the symptoms of addiction have a flow on effect for people that we love, our family members, employers, football clubs. I've always been around football clubs. And the symptoms aren't really understood. Today, in reflection, a few years on, I've put a few things in my path to, I guess, deal with the mental health side of it and to come out from those dark times into the light, which is where Experience Strength was born. And I guess what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, and credit to you, and obviously those close to you as well that have helped you. So you've come through that, and that is the inspiration for, as we see with the signage with Experience Strength. Has that been the catalyst for now what you're doing, and part of what you're down here for at the moment? But you're doing this nationally.
100%. Look, really quickly, Experience Strength was born. As you know, I have been around footy for a while, and I had the opportunity to coach at a really high level in Queensland. And there was an event at a football club, and unfortunately, the person who was supposed to be the guest speaker wasn't able to attend at the last minute. And I found myself on a stage. Don't mind being the centre of attention, Rick, with an audience, and I just spoke from the heart. I just shared my experience and now my strength. And on the back of that conversation or that presentation I did, Rick, I actually had an inquiry from someone who heard me speak that night, and they just related to what I was actually saying. So we were able to have a conversation. We were able to get that individual some help. And they've gone from being in the dark to the light as well. So Experience Strength was born, and the opportunity to bring this out in the open, the opportunity to try and help educate and smash the stigma that is attached to addiction. There is a stigma that's attached because these symptoms aren't socially acceptable. So my vision, what I want to try and achieve, is to do the next right thing, to educate as many people as I possibly can, to smash that stigma, lead by example and show people that there is a way out of those dark times. It's not easy in any way, shape, or form, but I wouldn't change anything in my story because of where I am today.
Yeah. You are speaking of the Scottsdale Football Club tonight. We've got some details up on the screen that will pop up. So, as you said, the title, Smashing the Stigma. What can people expect to hear and get out of attending a presentation that you put on?
100% honesty. Like, I don't hold back, Rick. There were some really dark times, and I share those dark times. And I think it's really important to do that. I think it's really important to get that out in the open, because there could be one person in that audience that's in the exact same place that I used to be. So that if they're relating to those that story,
Sure.
then it gives them some form of hope. But
Mm.
also to what I've been able to do to get where I am today. So it's that experience, the strength that's attached to it. But I'm hoping by telling my story, I'm providing people hope, because there is a way out of those dark times. There is a way to turn things around. And one of the things that we are really passionate about is, we as a business experience strength, we all have been in dark times. We're not qualified doctors, Rick. We're not qualified psychologists or psychiatrists, but we are well qualified in our own personal journeys and stories, and we're able to share that experience with an audience and provide that opportunity for them to come out the other end. Yeah.
We know it's not obviously just aimed at football clubs, but you've got that football background. But because footy is so high profile, and particularly in AFL circles, we have heard a lot lately
Absolutely.
as well.
Yep.
Is not everyone speaks up. So what have you found so far, and what's the feedback been like with your presentations that you've been making along the journey?
Look, we've had nothing but positive feedback. And you're on the money, Rick, with regards to how people actually address it and how they actually talk about it. For me personally, and I can only again speak about my own personal journey, we hear so many catchphrases. Sometimes you'll hear someone, just say no to drugs. Someone who's in the grips of addiction, Rick, people may not understand that they don't have the option to say no. They're in so much pain, and they don't know why they're in that pain, and they don't know a way to get out of it. So they can get some relief by medicating just for a little period of time so that they can actually breathe. It's like an instant gratification that doesn't last very long, and then it's like Groundhog Day, starts all over again.
Yep.
So to be able to break that cycle and to try and relate the speakers that we've got experience strength, our stories, to people of influence, whether it be football clubs, industries, associations, it doesn't matter the audience that we're speaking to. We just want to try and educate from our perspective that's true, real, and live. And that creates an opportunity for someone to come out into the light, mate.
No, it's brilliant. It's a great thing that you and your team are doing. Experiencestrength.com.au is the website. You can get a ton of information on there and learn a lot more.
You can.
And the message out there for footy clubs is that, who generally obviously are watching this show because it's a footy show, is that you can reach out. You can reach out directly as well.
Absolutely.
Through the website. All the contact details are there. We hope it goes well in Scottsdale tonight. And as I said, you are rolling this out nationally, and credit to you and your team for being so public about it with your own journey. But as you said, truth is really important.
100%. And that key slogan, smashing that stigma that's attached to it, is what we're all about. An alcoholic or an addict aren't bad people, Rick. They're just a little bit unwell. They're not sure of the reasons why they're unwell. And education and open communication is a way to deal with that.
Well, kicks off in Scottsdale tonight. We hope you'll be back down here soon so we can catch up and get more. But obviously, if anyone that wants to get in touch can do so, they can just head to experiencestrength.com.au. Scotty Bellinger, great to see you, mate.
Thanks, Rick.
Lovely to have you down here in person. Hope it goes well in Scottsdale.
Thank you.
And we'll hopefully catch up very soon. We'll keep in touch. That is for sure.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it.
All right. That is Scotty Bellinger joining us. Now, if this has triggered anything for you, you can always get in touch with Lifeline. Their number is on the screen now, 13 11 14. So that is Scotty Bellinger from Experience Strength. And that website again, experiencestrength.com.au. We'll take a quick break. Back in a moment.